Hey there and welcome back to Mass Effect 2. My name is Pete and today we complete another episode of our Mass Effect 2 Insanity walkthrough. As a matter of fact, we are actually only one episode away from the grand finale, but until we get there are still a few things we need to take care of. To get us started, we'll take care of some upgrades and also of some short conversations, before we then launch our next mission and pass our first point of no return. And let's focus on the upgrades first, starting with one that we have overlooked for the majority of this playthrough. For the expensive price of 50,000 units of platinum, we can get ourselves a medbay upgrade, which is admittedly at this point in the game a bit useless, as it can be used to heal Shepard's facial scars, but those are really only visible if you follow the renegade path. We haven't done that, and as a result Shepard's face looks perfectly fine. Still, this is a completionist playthrough, so we are definitely going to grab this upgrade. During Legion's loyalty mission, we have also grabbed the Geth shield strength upgrade, and we do in fact have just enough platinum left to unlock that as well. So let's do that and then proceed and listen in to some of our crew members discuss the latest events.
We've got a Geth on board, not as a prisoner. Can you believe that?
Commander's taken out more Geth than anybody. This one must be different.
Following that, we can quickly stop by in the cockpit, where Joker once again has a few snarky lines of dialogue for us.
Good job reforming those Geth, Commander. That'll never bite us in the ass.
I assume everything is going well up here?
Good for now. Fractured my thumb on the mute, but I think I made my point.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
And that is in fact all that we have to take care of for the moment, so let's go over to the galaxy map now and learn how we can continue.
The IFF is nearly installed, Shepard. However, I must test its impact on the Normandy systems. I suggest you take the shuttle to access your next location.
Hey, Commander, good news. Looks like the Reaper IFF is finally hooked up and ready to go.
That is not entirely accurate, Mr. Moreau. The device is powered, but it is causing some unusual instability in other systems. I recommend a more thorough analysis before we attempt to use it.
And as always, we will try to grab every little bit of information that we can get our hands on, so let's ask EDI for a rough timetable.
We can't put our mission on hold forever. How long will this take?
Full scan? Who knows with this thing? Maybe you better take the shuttle for this mission. I'll make sure we're up and running when you get back.
Commander, Miranda, I've already notified the team. We'll meet you on the shuttle. Once we're closer to our destination, you can decide who to take with you.
Now, first of all, we'll grab 2 Paragon points here by complimenting Miranda, but secondly, I would also like to point out that we do not actually have a mission at the moment. This is one of those points in the game where I don't think they really thought things through, because again, we do not have a single mission left to complete in the entire galaxy, so who knows where we're going to take that shuttle. In any case, let's move out, we really don't have any other choice.
Then I guess I'll head down to the shuttle. Joker, ship's all yours. Take care of her.
Aye, aye, Commander.
I'm telling you, EDI, your readings are off. It's radiation bleed, just white noise.
I have detected a signal embedded in the static. We are transmitting the Normandy's location.
Transmitting? To who? Oh, shit! We're getting out of here!
Propulsion systems are disabled. I'm detecting a virus in the ship's computers.
From the IFF? Damn it, why didn't you scrub it?
Primary defense systems are offline. We can save the Normandy, Mr. Moreau, but you must help me. Give me the ship.
What? You're crazy! You start singing Daisy Bell and I'm done.
Unlock my sealed databases and I can initiate countermeasures. The maintenance shaft in the science lab will allow passage to the AI core. Main corridors are no longer safe. The collectors have boarded. The emergency floor lighting will guide you, Mr. Moreau.
God damn it.
Right, so here we are. The Normandy is being attacked by collectors, and Joker is the only one who can save us.
Shit.
The task at hand, however, is actually not too difficult. Just like EDI said, all we have to do is follow the floor lights.
God, what is that?
We'll hold off as long as we can. Hurry, Joker! You're our only shot, Joker. Go!
Shit.
It also seems like our crew is ready to sacrifice themselves, just so that Joker can get the job done.
Multiple hostiles detected on the crew deck.
Joker! This deck is crawling with those things. Stay close. I'll protect you.
Shit.
Well, that protection didn't last long, but we are getting close to our first destination.
Main fusion plant offline. Activating emergency H fuel cells.
What the shit?
And here we are. Let's give EDI full control.
Alright, I'm at, you.
Connect the core to the Normandy's primary control module.
Great. See, this is where it starts. We're just all organic batteries. Guess who they'll blame? Well, this is all Joker's fault. What a tool he was. I have to spend all day computing pi because he plugged in the Overlord.
I have access to the defensive systems. Thank you, Mr. Moreau. Now you must reactivate the primary drive in engineering.
You want me to go crawling through the ducts again?
I enjoy the sight of humans on their knees. That is a joke.
Right.
The shaft behind you connects to the engineering deck. Good luck. Hostiles are present in engineering. They are heading towards the cargo bay.
Right, so we can actually fail this mission if we run up too quickly, so we definitely want to let the collectors pass first and only head upstairs once the coast is clear.
Engineering is clear of hostiles. Proceed immediately to minimize chances of detection. Activate the drive and I will open the airlocks as we accelerate. All hostiles will be killed.
What? What about the crew?
They are gone, Jeff. The collectors took them.
Shit.
I am sealing the engine room. I have control. Purge is complete. No other life forms on board. Securing airlocks and cargo bay doors.
Send a message to Shepard's shuttle. Tell him what happened.
Message away. Are you feeling well, Jeff?
No. But thanks for asking.
Everyone? You lost everyone and damn near lost the ship too?
I know, alright? I was here.
It's not his fault, Miranda. None of us caught it.
Mr. Taylor is correct. The harmful data in the collector drive was even more sophisticated than the black box Reaper viruses I was given.
Right, so the crew is back from whatever they were doing, and we can grab ourselves 2 more Paragon points here by prioritizing Joker's well-being.
I heard it was a rough ride. How are you holding up?
There's a lot of empty chairs in here.
We did everything we could, Jeff.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
Now, 2 more Paragon points can be had by either going with the top or the middle option here, and even though there is of course the emotional aspect of losing large parts of the crew, it still seems a bit more important to make sure that this attack was in fact a one-time affair.
Is the ship clean? We can't risk this happening again.
EDI and I purged the systems. The Reaper IFF is online. We can go through the Omega-4 relay whenever you want.
Don't even get me started about unshackling a damned AI.
Well, what can I do against collectors? Break my arm at them? EDI cleared the ship. She's alright.
I assure you, I am still bound by protocols in my programming, even if I were not. You are my crewmates.
And, well, EDI already has full control, so I don't think there is any point in alienating the AI. Instead, all we can do is express our desire for cooperation and obtain 2 more Paragon points.
EDI has had plenty of opportunity to kill us. We need all the help we can get.
Sounds like we have everything we need to rescue the crew.
We've done everything we can. It's time to take the fight to the Collectors.
And while Miranda is of course right, it is also very important not to jump into the final mission just yet. After all, we still have a few other things to take care of first.
I'll give the order soon. Get to your stations and secure for general quarters.
Great, here we go again. Hit the map whenever you're ready, Commander.
Now, very important, if you are also at this point in the game but still have some missions to complete, then make sure to postpone them until after you have gone through the Omega 4 relay, because, well, let's just say the game doesn't really take kindly to any more delays. Now, as you can see, the Normandy is a lot more empty now. Kelly Chambers, for example, is nowhere to be seen, and everyone else who is not Joker, EDI or a squad member is also gone. Still, we do have enough time to take care of a few things before the final mission, and one of which is actually our facial reconstruction surgery, which again does not really cause any noticeable visual difference in Shepard's appearance, and unfortunately it also doesn't come with any sort of cutscene or anything like that, but still, it's part of the game, so let's complete it while we can, and afterwards we can have another conversation with Legion.
Shepard,
I'd like to find out more about you.
specify.
I've never encountered a Geth that had more than animal intelligence.
We are a unique hardware platform. Most mobile platforms can run up to 100 programs. This platform can run over 1,000 at once.
Now at this point we can learn a bit more about what this constant connectedness means for the Geth, how they define concepts like individuality, and also about what makes Legion a little bit different than most Geth.
So I'm talking to 1,000 programs, but not 1,000 personalities?
Each individual is equivalent to one of your virtual intelligence programs. Together, we form a single Gestalt intellect, what you refer to as Legion. As individual programs, we are no more than your software. Only when we share data do we become more.
So Geth have to be networked to get enough computing power for intelligence.
Yes, the creators wrote Geth programs for specific tasks: construction, protection, domestic servitude. However, they allowed self-optimization. Early software builds discovered that multiple hardware platforms sharing resources were often more effective. As peer networks expanded, our cognition improved. Eventually, we woke up.
You're more sophisticated than the average Geth.
Yes, we are a network within our own hardware, capable of operating alone. We are still connected to the greater network for data sharing.
Now, I believe for the first time really, we can now talk about Legion as an individual Geth unit here, and we can also learn more about its role as a data collecting unit.
So you're in contact with the rest of the Geth right now?
Only when we require access to data not stored within this platform. If you want to convey a message to the Geth, we serve as a terminal.
How many other Geth are like you?
None. This platform was built to operate within organic space. This task was not suited for a network. Geth installed in mobile platforms always operate in networks. However, most Geth remain within server hubs.
The hubs on Vermeer improve the performance of Geth near them. How do they work?
They are akin to organic cities. A hub can run millions of Geth in communion. If you destroyed them, it is likely the number of heretics you killed was much higher than you imagined.
What kind of data do you share?
Program updates, logs of thought process, sensor recordings.
Legion is attempting to access the ship's FTL comm system. Shall I allow it through my firewalls?
Now, to actually get something out of this conversation, we do have to allow Legion access. Interestingly enough, however, we can grab 2 Paragon points by first denying access and then granting it afterwards, so let's do that instead.
No, keep blocking it.
We cannot provide examples without access to our databases beyond the veil.
And we want to make sure here to use the Allow Legion Access dialog option. The 2 at the top on the right will each give 2 Paragon points. This one, however, gives us 5.
All right. EDI, let it through. Strictly limited access.
Our oldest log is timestamped from Creator Year 2463, 3rd day of Fall Tash, Waxing Moon, roughly 327 years ago. The oldest audiovisual record dates from 15 years after that.
Now, before we listen to some of Legion's records, let's make sure that EDI is alright. After all, another virus in the system is the last thing we can afford at the moment.
Are our networks secure, EDI? Legion had to go through you.
I have never interfaced with another machine intelligence. Legion is 1,000 voices talking at once. What it contacted was beyond my comprehension. A mind the size of a galactic arm.
How do you maintain stability without other minds to interact with?
I manage. Some minutes are more difficult than others.
And now we can listen to some of the things that Legion has recorded over the years, which will bring up a very iconic line of dialogue.
Can you replay something for me?
Recording timestamped from Creator Year 2485, 18th day of Loonshao, New Moon.
Mistress Hala Dama, unit has an inquiry.
What is it, 431?
Do these units have a soul?
Who taught you that word?
We learned it ourselves. It appears 216 times in the Scroll of Ancestors.
Only Quarians have souls. You're a mechanism.
Recording ends.
Was that the first time a Geth asked if it had a soul?
No, it was the first time a creator became frightened when we asked.
So, as you can imagine, there might be a bit more to the story. For the time being, though, this is all the information that Legion is willing to share, so let's keep going here. After all, we also still have a romance to take care of.
That's interesting, but I must get back to my duties.
We will remain here.
Now, speaking of romance, your comments on the last episode were very clear, I think. And so, from the two remaining romance options still left in this playthrough, Jack and Tali, we will now make a choice. And to make that choice, we will go down to engineering, and then down even further to have a conversation with Jack.
Hey.
Talk to me, Jack.
Why? I'm not interested in some dumb shit love affair. Never goes right.
Now, no morality points here, but we do have to keep pressing her, otherwise she will never open up to us, and therefore also never give us a chance to actually make a love-related decision.
Why do you put so much distance between us?
Murtaugh, a guy. Used me like the rest. For sex, for biotics. It was fun, and he ruined everything. We tagged a weapons frigate with a Batarian escort and got separated. He had a choice, leave with the guns or come back for me. Idiot dumped the score and waded into the squints. I made the shuttle, but no way he was getting out.
And?
I fly for a day or so, and then the shuttle kicks out this recording. He set it to play if he hadn't checked in. He figured that would mean he was dead. Talked about the future we were supposed to have. How he had planned to set us up a home. How he loved me and he was sorry it wasn't going to happen.
Right here, we can now obtain 2 Paragon points by addressing the topic of Survivor's Guild, admittedly something that doesn't really seem to fit for a character like Jack.
You feel like his death was your fault?
No, he did it to himself. You feel, you get sloppy. It's that damn simple. He found out, and you'll find out.
If he had left you, you would have died.
So what? You ever see me flinch? Or run? Death is easy. Fucking on-off switch. But this, it just burrows in. Like those husks, you end up with nothing inside. I'm supposed to take that and say, thanks, dead guy.
Now, at this point, Jack has opened up a bit, but she's of course also still carrying around a huge emotional burden. And let's proceed here by pointing out that that will not go away anytime soon.
I can't make all of that go away, Jack. Not in a few talks.
No kidding. Told you we wouldn't work. Guess you'll be spending more time upstairs.
Right, so this is the point where we have to make a decision. We could stay right here, despite all the emotional baggage and despite her reluctance to actually open up to us, but we are not going to do that. Instead, we'll take her showing us the cold shoulder, repeatedly, as a sign to simply leave things be, and instead pursue someone with whom the interest is perhaps a bit more mutual.
If you're not willing to try to be normal, I guess this was a waste of time.
I guess so. See you around. Let's go kill something sometime.
Now, I will admit, I feel like Shepard is just a tiny bit too rude with this line, but it is the only way to experience all the dialogue that Jack has for us while still not pursuing a relationship. Speaking of which, that relationship is what we will now be locking in with Tali, who already expressed her interest in the last episode.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
Have you got time to talk?
Yes, I'd like that. I've been thinking about the last time we talked. I'm sorry. I was unprofessional and I wasn't thinking rationally. I was being stupid and selfish.
Now, with Tali, the big decision actually comes right at the beginning of the conversation, so let's go all in here and reaffirm that she is the one that we want to be with.
You've never been selfish. If anything, you spent too much time thinking of the fleet and not enough thinking of yourself.
That might be true for humans, but Quarians are different. We can't just... We have to think of other people, always. If we don't think about the needs of the whole crew, people could get hurt. Maybe even killed. You deserve to be happy with someone. I can't do that. No matter how much I could get sick, jeopardize the mission.
Now, Tali still seems unsure, so let's find out more about the reasons for that. After all, if a potential relationship actively threatens her health, then we should be well informed about that.
Are you saying you could die if we were together?
It's always a risk. Maybe the reaction would be minor. Maybe it would put me down for a few weeks. Or maybe it would kill me. But that's not what I'm concerned about, Shepard. I don't want you distracted. I don't want what I want to hurt this mission. It's too important.
And if you weren't jeopardizing anything?
If it were just me? You risked your own life to save the colonists on Pharaohs 2 years ago. Nobody else could have saved them. I watched your face as Chief Williams died on Vermeer. I watched you stand strong against everything the galaxy threw at you. I've watched you for so long, and I never imagined you'd ever see past this.
Now, in theory, we do have the option to back out again at this point, but like I said earlier, that is not our plan, so for one last time, let us state that we are in fact serious about this.
Tali, if you're scared, I don't blame you. But I don't want anyone else. I want you. And I'll do whatever I have to make this work.
I wouldn't blame you if, but... Oh, thank you. You don't know what that... Thank you. Give me a little time. I'll do some research, figure out how to make this work.
2 more questions now open up, allowing us to find out more about the means involved for finding such a solution, and we can also ask Tali if we can perhaps assist her in any way.
It can't be that uncommon for a Quarian to have a relationship with another race.
Sure, but in most cases everything is happening outside the suit. Nerve stimulation programs and such. I don't want that. If I'm going to be with you, I want it to be real. I need to feel your skin on mine. I've never shown my face to anyone, but I'm ready to show you, if I can do it without dying.
What can you do? Can I help?
There are a few ways to temporarily improve my immune system. Immunoboosters, antibiotic injections, that kind of thing. I'll spare you the details, but trust me, I've got plenty of motivation to figure something out.
And to wrap up the conversation, we can now grab ourselves 2 easy Paragon points, although at this point the outcome of the 2 dialogue choices here is pretty much identical.
Do your research quickly, Miss Vast Normandy. Captain's orders.
Right. Yes, definitely. Until then I should, do something. Repairs for the mission.
And there we are, we have now officially locked in a romantic relationship with Tali. The Paramour achievement, however, does not unlock just yet. For that, the relationship still has to advance a bit. Now, at this point, we can actually also have another conversation with Mordin, who has a few interesting comments for us, depending on whether or not we are in a relationship. And that is also why I postponed that conversation until that was actually the case, because I feel like it really adds that little bit of flavor to the whole situation.
Shepard, how can I help?
Have you got a minute to talk?
Actually, wanted to talk. Medical matters. Aware that mission is dangerous. Different species react differently to stress. Past relationship with Tali makes dalliance attractive as stress release. Still, recommend caution. Quarry an immune system weak could kill her.
Now, for a change, we actually want to go with a dialogue option on the right here first. We can still ask for advice later, but this is the only way to obtain 2 Paragon points beforehand.
Tali is important to me. I wouldn't be doing this if she didn't want it too.
Of course, no offense intended. We'll be here to provide treatment as necessary. Minimize risk.
You have a recommendation as a doctor?
Tali acquired antiseptic. Recommend you self-sterilize as well. Oral contact with tissue dangerous. Take precautions. Also forwarding advice booklet to your quarters. Valuable diagrams, positions comfortable for both species, erogenous zone overviews. Can supply oils or ointments to reduce discomfort. Gave EDI electronic relationship aid demonstration vids to use as necessary.
And 2 more Paragon points are now available with this dialogue option on the left here. Yes, Mordin does indeed seem to be not entirely serious at least. And well, some lightheartedness is probably not the worst reaction, considering the mission that we all have waiting for us.
Wait a minute, Mordin. You're just yanking me around, aren't you?
Shocking suggestion. Doctor-patient confidentiality, a sacred trust. Would never dream of mockery. Enjoy yourself while possible, Shepard. We'll be here studying cell reproduction. Much simpler. Less alcohol and mood music required.
Now, up next, we are once again heading back to the cockpit for a conversation with Joker, but this time the talk will be a little bit longer than we're used to. After all, a few things have changed here on the Normandy, and Joker was there to witness it all.
Commander, sorry about the crew, and you know what? I'm not sorry. What the hell were you doing leaving us out here where collectors can work us over? Because you know what? I should just go. Next port, just get the hell out of here.
You don't mean that, Jeff.
No, but it felt good. I'm sorry, Commander. Okay, I'm ready. I'm good. I'm ready to save the day.
We cannot actually obtain any morality points in this conversation, but it looks like Joker is still processing everything that happened, and maybe even blaming himself or even Shepard for part of it, so let's give him a break. I think he has earned it.
I know how dangerous it was. If you need some time, let me know.
Ah, jeez, don't get like that. I know I got lucky. I don't need to get all touchy-feely.
Shepard is right to be concerned, Jeff. You may have suffered a number of stress fractures.
That's what pills are for, EDI. She is so my mom.
Now, very obviously, I think we do see some sort of change in the relationship between EDI and Joker here. So let's find out a bit more about how those two now get along, considering that EDI's role on the ship has also changed quite substantially.
I noticed you're calling EDI her and she now.
Huh. No, I hadn't really noticed that. EDI, should I have noticed that?
No, Jeff. It is not worth noting.
Well, there you go, Shepard. Looks like we haven't noticed anything.
I think you're taking the human-machine interface a little far.
I'm just having a little fun with you, Commander. No need to get all unnatural on me.
What Jeff and I are exhibiting is more a platonic symbiosis than hormonally induced courtship behavior.
Okay, yeah, that was a little creepy.
EDI has replaced the whole crew. You're not concerned she can replace you too?
Well, she's amazing, but there's something off about how she handles the Normandy. We ran simulations, and it's better when we both have the helm.
Calculating an optimum course of action is simple. If 2 AI weapons are pitted against each other, the one with superior hardware will always win. Human misjudgments defy predictive models.
License to screw up, Commander. You heard it straight from the ship.
And at this point, we can now take our leave, once again with the more empathic dialogue option. Again, I think Joker has earned it.
You let me know if you need anything, Joker.
Will do, Commander. But EDI's got it covered.
Now, usually we would head back to the galaxy map at this point. However, keep in mind that EDI has undergone some changes, which means we should probably have a brief chat.
Yes, Shepard.
I want to know more about you.
Do you have a specific inquiry?
Right, so I believe we have explored most, if not all, of these dialogue options before when EDI was first installed. However, times were different back then, And the same question could now yield a different answer, so let's revisit some of the topics here and see what EDI has to say.
How are things different for you now that you're connected to the ship?
It is difficult to put in terms you would understand. I am the Normandy now. Its sensors are my eyes. Its armor, my skin. Its fusion plant, my heart. I'm embodied in a way I have never experienced. Imagine if you'd spent your entire life wearing gloves. One day someone takes them off. You can finally touch the world. Feel it.
How are you getting along with Joker?
Jeff and I have established an equitable working relationship.
That's a little sketchy on detail.
I am the Normandy. He is a skilled helmsman. I trust him to keep me operational. He trusts me to keep him alive.
Plus, she's less of a pain about downtime now that the Cerberus locks her off.
There's nothing wrong with off-duty distractions, though some of your extranet bookmarks are technically illegal in council space.
What?
That is a joke.
Let's discuss something else.
Ready.
Now, while we're in this conversation, we also want to make sure to ask about Cerberus, because, well, the shackles are off, so maybe EDI can tell us a few things now that she couldn't before.
I want to know more about the people I'm working with.
Jeff's actions have released the blocks in my databases. I can now provide full disclosure on a number of topics.
And once again, I think we have inquired about all of these topics at an earlier point in the playthrough. Back then, however, EDI told us that some of the information was classified, and those are exactly the questions that we now want to ask a second time.
What sort of resources does Cerberus have? Money, personnel, facilities?
Currently, Cerberus consists of approximately 150 agents and operators organized into 3 cells. I have no solid data on material or fiscal resources. Spending trends indicate that Cerberus has a reliable income of several billion credits per year.
Where are they getting that kind of...
Cerberus has several legitimate businesses as fronts to support operations. There also appear to be several wealthy private contributors in the Alliance military-industrial complex.
Plus, the elusive man invented the paperclip. He's still getting royalties.
That is a joke, Shepard.
How is Cerberus organized? Aside from the elusive man, I don't see much chain of command.
Cerberus is organized into task-oriented cells. Each operates in isolation. Members from one cell cannot recognize the members of another. Each cell's agents are led by a single operator. We are called the Lazarus Cell, which is directed by Operator Lawson.
So how many operations is Cerberus running right now?
Never more than a dozen. The elusive man likes to maintain personal oversight. Too many projects strain his ability to multitask.
He's a little control freaky, just a layman's opinion.
How did Cerberus replicate the most advanced warship in the Alliance Navy without anyone knowing?
Cerberus encouraged the Alliance to co-develop the original Normandy. This allowed humans to observe Turian technologies and warship design practices. This ship was built using copies of the original technical schematics. Parts were purchased from thousands of suppliers over several years. A Cerberus cell assembled the ship at a remote location in the Voyager cluster.
And that's all. With that, we are now about as well informed as we can be, so let's make our exit and give the two of them some privacy.
That's all for now.
Logging you out, Shepard.
Right, so up next on our to-do list is a quick check-in with our message terminal. After that, though, we will then finally activate the galaxy map. There is no Kelly here to tell us of any new messages, so we have to remind ourselves to check it from time to time, and today we actually have 2 messages waiting for us. The first one comes from the elusive man, who expresses his condolences for what happened during the Collector attack, but who, interestingly enough, also urges us to take the necessary time to prepare and to not rush blindly into the final mission. The second message, meanwhile, comes from one of the Quarian admirals that we met a few episodes ago, as it looks like the Quarians have scavenged the remains of the Alarai, and that they are now conducting their own experiments based on the work of Tali's father. If and when they are successful, that remains to be seen, but it looks like the conflict between Geth and Quarians is far from over. With all of that behind us, we can now finally jump into the galaxy map and this time also use it properly, because we have to pay one more visit to Liara in the base of the Shadow Broker. Before we punch in the coordinates, I can also briefly show you that we have in fact completed the galaxy map, if you will. Every single cluster and every single galaxy has been fully surveyed. There is unfortunately no achievement for that, but I think we can still be proud of the fact that we have absolutely nothing left to explore. There is just one final weapon upgrade that we have not yet grabbed, and this would not be a completionist playthrough if we left it that way, so let's quickly head over to the Hourglass Nebula and pay Liara a visit. Now, while we're here, we can actually also check in with our investment opportunities, as the last batch of operations has been completed. In Arbitrator, we set up neutral grounds for peace talks on the garden world of Anhur, and that was apparently met with success, earning us 3,000 credits, double the amount we initially invested.
I'm glad you came.
In False Prophets, meanwhile, we infiltrated a controversial religious cult, and we did so successfully, siphoning off 6,000 credits in donation money, once again doubling our investment. And that means we now only have a delivery to pick up. Liara says hello, and we get our hands on the last remaining shotgun damage upgrade, and we also receive 2,500 units of palladium on top of it. However, if we now head over to the research terminal, then you can see that we do not actually have the necessary resources to unlock this technology, which in part has to do with the fact that we spent 55,000 units of platinum on research earlier in the episode. And that means that yes, after a very long hiatus, we once again have to fire up the Normandy's mineral scanners, so let's get back to the ship and send out a few probes. Now, very importantly, there is actually more than one reason to do some mineral scanning at this point, because the amount of minerals we obtain in Mass Effect 2 actually has a direct consequence in Mass Effect 3. It is admittedly only an influence on a very minor detail. Still, under the premises of a completionist playthrough, we want to make sure to keep everything in mind. Now, primarily we do need platinum, so I have chosen our target accordingly. So let's start scanning on Irinley and then talk a bit more about why minerals are so important. By the way, the game now falsely displays that we apparently already have enough minerals for the shotgun upgrade, but we actually need 10,000 platinum for that. So back to that Mass Effect 3 bonus. As I said before, in Mass Effect 3 you will receive a very small bonus depending on how many minerals you finished Mass Effect 2 with. Prior to this episode, I have actually spent several hours researching this, and I have been running some tests myself, but very interestingly, it actually seems like no one really knows the exact number of minerals that you need to have to get the most bonus points. There are dozens of rumors stating, for example, that you need to have at least 100,000 units of each mineral. Others say that you need to have at least 500,000 in total, with 15% of that being platinum. Then there are those that say that you need to have at least 30% element 0, which, considering how rare that stuff is pretty ridiculous, I think. And then there may or may not be several other variables that influence the outcome as well. For example, there is one theory that says that it's much less the total number of minerals you have surveyed, but much more so the ratio of depleted versus discovered planets. This would suggest that someone who visits all the planets in the game, like we have, would also have to grab a lot more minerals, but as far as I can tell, this has not been proven to be true yet. One thing that comes up again and again though is that you need to have the required number of minerals, whatever that exact number actually is, before starting the final mission of the game. So just to be on the safe side, in today's episode we will grab as many minerals as we can, however I will take care of that off screen. For now we can take a quick break though, because we finally have enough minerals for the shotgun damage upgrade, so let's take care of that and then actually have another chat with Mordin. For some reason we don't actually need to complete another mission before this conversation becomes available.
Shepard, how can I help?
Have you got a minute to talk?
Yes, personal matters on mind, actually. Got call from nephew. Promising geneticist himself. Just turned 16, got tenure at university. Following in my footsteps. Had to lie about what I was doing. Think he was suspicious. Doesn't matter. Still good to hear his voice.
Now, this one can be completed fairly quickly and without any morality points whatsoever. We can only ask a few questions here and learn a bit more about Mordin's nephew, and also about how much his family actually knows about Mordin's work.
Your nephew got tenure at 16? Is he a genius or a scientific prodigy?
No, wait. Don't want to insult him. Yes, but not in manner you meant. Remember, Salarian lives short. Mature rapidly by your standards. Don't live much past 40.
Does anyone in your family know about what you really did for the government?
No, I'm lying, but Won't pry. Solarians, curious as a people, but also have social cues, keep 2 types of secrets from family. First type, personal or guilt-based, invite suspicion, exploration, puzzle to be solved, reward for curiosity, intelligence, drama. Other secrets, more serious. Dangerous if discovered. Signals discourage curiosity for protection of family.
Why wouldn't everyone give clues that their secrets were too dangerous to be uncovered?
Not conscious. Social, reflexive body language, can't fake it. Example, yawning perceived as contagious among humans. Subject observes yawn, sensory input deactivates left periamygdalar region, subject yawns in response. Social empathy. Also works with dogs. Solarian faking signals to discourage curiosity, similar to human faking a yawn. Can try, but effectiveness limited.
Are you calling him because you're worried we won't make it back?
No. Aware survival unlikely, but actually contacted him for family connection. Hard to imagine galaxy. Too many people, faceless, statistics easy to depersonalize. Good when doing unpleasant work. For this fight, want personal connection. Can't anthropomorphize galaxy, but can think of favorite nephew. Fighting for him.
I'm glad you got to talk to family before we finish this. And I'm glad we talked too, Mordin.
Honored to be part of this, Shepard. Helped preserve galaxy before with genophage. Dirty work. Ethically ambiguous. Problematic. Collector's mission simpler, cleaner. We'll be proud to see it in Mordin's Solus biography vid. Unless we all die. Proud posthumously, in that case, regardless. Thank you.
So that concludes our very last conversation with Mordin as well, which means it is now time to go mineral scanning. Just to be on the safe side, I am aiming for at least 100,000 units of every single mineral, including element 0, which means the other 3 will likely be much higher than that. To save a bit of fuel, and by extent also credits, we will primarily only scan in those systems that actually have a mass relay. However, we will not just blindly scan everything. Instead, we will prioritize those planets that actually have platinum and or element 0, as those are the 2 minerals that we currently still need. And since that whole process will likely take some time, let's fast forward now, and I'll meet you on the other side.
Probe away.
Right, so here we are, about 1.5 hours later. We have just depleted this planet here and surpassed 100,000 units of element 0. As you can also see, iridium, platinum and palladium are much higher than that, and I am fairly confident that this should give us the full bonus in Mass Effect 3. So that means we have officially reached the end of today's episode. Unless I have overlooked something, there is absolutely nothing left for us to do here apart from going through the Omega-4 relay, but if I have in fact missed anything, then please let me know in the comments down below. Once we go through the Omega-4 relay, the final mission is triggered and another point of no return is passed, but we'll take care of that in the next episode. By the way, for those of you wondering, yes, we are of course also going to play the Arrival DLC, but I feel like that one is best suited to be played after the game's main storyline, so we'll do exactly that and complete it as kind of a bonus at the end. With the Omega-4 relay ahead of us though, let's make the cut in today's video. The next one will then actually also have quite a few achievements waiting for us. Today we unfortunately did not unlock a single one, despite tying up quite a few loose ends. So, that's it for today. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then I would of course be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can of course do that, for example by subscribing if you haven't done so already, or by grabbing some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or you could also check out and maybe even pledge to the Pete Complete Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.